How you doing? So the title of this video, can Hela outdamage Angela in Incursion? The short answer to that is depends. When it comes to Icarus node, there's just no way that Hela can outdamage Angela, and also any fights with 2000 or more wins with the buff Odin synergy for both of them, because Angela gains buff potency for every fight she wins by 5%, and Hela gains 5% buff duration for every fight she wins. So, since Hela's max stack of Fury is 100, there is a limit to her, and I'm assuming there's no limit when it comes to the buff potency and the buff duration for both champions. So I really even say 500 fights or more. There's just no way Hela can outdamage Angela. So in a more realistic fight, since most people will never reach 500 wins in Incursion, I did pass over 500 wins with Hela in Incursion. You can just do the math, how many zones that is, but not with Angela, so I don't know exactly. But not many people will. I'm just, that's just a realistic part of the game. So let's just think about fights with, between 1 to less than 500 fights. Can Hela outdamage Angela? So this is about, what is this? 5.0777 million health. So how long did that take me? That took me about 30 seconds, which is roughly about 169,000 damage per second, around 169k damage per second. This is my highest DPS with Hela, and also here these are my two fastest time. This is rough about 4.2 million health in 25 seconds. This is about approximately 168,000 damage per second. But as you do notice, you could see the opponent had way more. My damage was way more. As you can see, my biggest hit was over 7.4 million, and my total damage for that fight was around 8.7 million damage. So if the opponent had like around 8.7 million health, this would have been really close to like 350k damage per second. So that's that. So these are my two fastest time. We're just going by the health. 25 seconds, 4.2 million health. That's 168k damage per second. 30 seconds, 5.077 million health, 169k damage per second. So this is with Hela. So my fastest time actually when it comes to DPS is with Hela in Icarus node. There's really no chance that Hela or really any champion in the game can beat Angela in Icarus node, because once she gains those Fury buffs, their potency increase depending on how many fights you win. So here Deadpool had 982k health, and I did it in 5 seconds, which is roughly about what, 196,000 damage per second, around there. As you can see here, I did over 2 million, close to 2.2 million damage in 5 seconds. So I'm assuming if the opponent had that much health, that would have been roughly about 439k damage per second, if assuming that how much the opponent had. But let's just go with how much health the opponent had. This is 982k health in 5 seconds, which is roughly about 196,000 damage per second, which is the highest damage I did in Incursion. So let's compare it to Suida's time, and I'm using a 5-star rank 5 with Relic, and Suida is using a 6-star rank 3 without Relic. So you can even say I have a slight edge. Damage comparison, I'm going to do a damage comparison with Hela versus Angela. So let's compare my Hela against her Angela. So this is Suida's Angela. So this is Icarus node. As I mentioned, there's just no chance that Hela can keep up with Angela in Icarus node. As you can see here, the opponent had over 2.5 million health. He did it in 5 seconds, so that's over 500,000 damage per second. As you can see here, he actually did over 3.2 million damage in 5 seconds, which is roughly about what, 653 1000 damage per second if the opponent had more health. So there's really no chance that Hela can keep up with Angela in Incursion. But in more realistic fight, non-Incursion and less than 500 wins, let's see if Hela can keep up with Angela. That was Sweet's highest DPS. This is his second highest DPS. A more realistic fight is 22 seconds. How much health? 3.153 million health in 22 seconds. So let's just do some quick math. So that's about 150. What is it? 106. 145,000, maybe, or closer to 144k damage per second. Compared to that with my other fights, 168k damage per second and 169k damage per second. As you can see, the Hela can keep up with Angela in non-Icarus fights, as well as any fights less than 500 wins or 500 wins in Incursion. But when it comes to DPS, there's no comparison. These two, Angela and Hela, have the highest DPS when it comes to Incursion because of Odin's synergy, and it's really not even close. But you do need to win a lot of fights for these champions to I would say at least 60 fights or about 20 zones for them to actually overtake like someone like Hercules or maybe even Thing or something like that, or Cosmic Ghost Rider in Incursion when it comes to DPS. Thank you.